Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hang Out with Your Slangout. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dan.
And if you have kids that say weird words around you and you don't know what they mean, hey, that's what we're here for. Maybe you've heard an episode, maybe you haven't, but we're excited to get into this next one. It's basically like being at a high school girl fight, because this episode slaps.
So our word slaps. Just in real life, you ever been slapped?
I don't know. I bit a kid in second grade.
And you didn't get slapped?
No, he ran and told on me, and then I had a week's worth of lunchtime detention. In my defense, he stuck his arm in my mouth. What's a mouth to do? Not bite? Get out of here. But yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been slapped. Have you been slapped?
I don't think I have. At least not.
I think you would remember it because I'm pretty sure Jen would have done it.
Well, I was going to say not on my face. Does that count?
That is disturbing.
Is that still called a slap, or is that spank?
Ooh, now okay. So that's a good lead in, right?
All right.
So if the slap is there, it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. And so now maybe is that where slaps came from?
From spankings?
Maybe.
Well, there's bad spankings.
There are bad spankings.
Yeah, you didn't want to get spanked in school when I was a kid.
No.
And I definitely wouldn't have said that slaps.
No.
Different.
It's got to come from something.
That slaps.
Twerking, maybe? Because when you're twerking, it slaps, and everybody thinks twerking's a good thing. Is that a thing?
Twerking is not.
I just really want to understand the etymology of this one. I just don't get it. I'm not mad at it. This isn't like bougie or something. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, bougie's way too easy to get. But don't get them all riled up, people.
It's too early for that.
Yeah. If you email us with bougie and slaps in the headline, yeah, he won't be able to sleep for a week.
Some people call that a subject line.
Apparently, this person who doesn't have a voice for podcast doesn't.
So slaps. Good thing, right?
Yeah, it can be.
But I feel like we missed an area of opportunity to talk about slaps and slapping in general.
Okay.
Were you ever a fan of How I Met Your Mother?
It's one of the few shows I haven't watched. It felt like too much of a knockoff of Friends to me. So,
I mean, it wasn't not a knockoff of Friends, but
it was kind of like the continuation of that style of humor, but for the next, I don't want to say next generation, but like the next cycle of TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen clips and stuff like that, but I've never sat down and watched it.
But you never got into like slapsgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
which sounds phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better believe it is. There's an entire episode dedicated to it. Barney goes into mountains and stuff like that to learn how to slap better. It's fantastic.
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah.
So he full like Kill Bill's this thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
Kill Bill, like Batman, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's really clever. I like that.
So that episode slaps. The actual act of slapsgiving, maybe not. I mean, it's a cool idea. Don't get me wrong. Don't slap your friends. Yeah. But
it's cool for TV.
Right.
I don't know. That could be a TikTok. I think we could make that happen.
Sure.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened. They did the tortilla challenge. That's technically slapping people.
Right.
Right. I know it's a little dated, but should we do the tortilla challenge? We could do it with Pop Rocks instead of water.
No.
Oh.
Wait. Water? I'll be honest. I've never seen the tortilla challenge.
You haven't?
No.
Oh. Well, I thought they always use water. You take a drink of water and they smack you, or you try to make them laugh and then you slap them with the tortilla.
If they laugh? Or if they don't laugh?
It's like the first one who spits out the water loses.
Oh.
So you get smacked and everybody laughs.
See, I was under the impression you were just slapping people with tortillas.
You basically are, but you got to have a mouthful of water, which, I mean, I got water right now.
I'm not spitting out beer. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'd prefer it to be water myself. Or I'd prefer Ruby Red Squirt.
That caffeinated monstrosity?
Somebody told me it's one of the best beverages ever made.
It's absolutely one of the best beverages
Would you say
ever made.
Would you say it slaps?
Personally, probably not, just because I don't use the term. But if I were to use the term, yes, I think it would apply to Ruby Red Squirt.
So for this podcast, you would say,
yeah, Ruby Red Squirt slaps.
Okay. So you think we can get them to send us some?
Probably not. Well, maybe. I think that it's kind of funny and equally sad that we try to plug a company in every one of these episodes hoping to get free stuff. But Squirt, if you're out there, I would love some free Ruby Red Squirt, or, just traditional Squirt. That's fine too. Like if I want to make, a nice little Paloma, I can do that because Squirt.
Well, I just want like a Squirt t-shirt. Bumper sticker?
Yeah, I think either of those would be acceptable.
Because if I'm honest and I say I don't think Squirt slaps, do you think they'll take it away?
Well, you would never say that. I think what we really should be doing is figuring out a way to get Squirt to use us to use slaps in a commercial for Squirt. Because I think if there's one thing that the Squirt brand is missing, it's commercials. There we go. Big brains right there. There is no off to the genius switch with my friend here. The problem is they'll want to hire people that like actually have talent, charisma. Yeah, we definitely don't have the Riz. But you do have a face for podcasts. And a body for podcasts. A body for radio, face for podcasts, and a voice for church, probably. I was going to say rap. Well, except with the words I use, you can't use those in a church. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, I was going to say rap music, but. So, slaps. You brought up a pretty popular TV show. You think of any times that in a movie that somebody got slapped that sticks with you? In a movie? Didn't they do that back in like, the early days? Like, it was like a 60s, 70s thing, I feel like. The guy would like just would slap the lady for nothing. Like, well, guys would slap guys too. True. When I think of slaps and I'm thinking of entertainment, I'm thinking of the glove slap episode of The Simpsons. Okay. Where, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do. I'm pretty sure he does. Basically, there were yokels that came into town in their RV and then squatted on the Simpsons property to take it over. And it became a whole thing. And they had a slapping sort of duel. And the B-52 song, Love Shack, was remade into Glove Slap. Glove Slap. Perfect. The other thing I think of when I think of slaps is all the memes with Batman and Robin. Oh my goodness, yes. That is the best. There's been so many versions of that. I'm going to make a version of that for our Instagram. I think maybe to me that's what's more funny than anything about this term is that being slapped is inherently negative. And slaps as a term somehow came to mean positive. I think we could thank the Three Stooges for that. Can we? I could. I mean, you thank them for everything. Yeah. Let's go, Mo. You're a Mo guy? Yeah. How can you not be a Mo guy? Well, the haircut alone. Because everybody likes curly. It's low-hanging fruit. Everybody likes curly, but you gotta like Mo. Yeah. He's the straight man. He's the one that makes it all funny. I guess. I was more Marx Brothers than Stooges, but whatever. Yeah, I remember when I discovered the Stooges, I was like, you hear of them when you're growing up, but like it's like 2 a.m. It comes on TV. You're like 16, sleep on the couch. You wake up and you see the absolute most ridiculous thing that they were doing so long ago. And then you realize growing up watching comedies in the 80s and 90s, Saturday Night Live, like any of those, you just see how much influence they had on everybody. Well, yeah. And like now with Hollywood remaking everything that's ever happened, Three Stooges movie, wasn't Sean Hayes in that? Yeah. That was like one of the first, like, we're going to not necessarily use an original idea. And I never saw that. Go back to the well and hope that it's still funny. But I am a big Sean Hayes fan. Hopefully he's listening. He can add us to one of his 16 podcasts. Yeah, sure.
There you go.
He apparently was some sort of award nominated host by himself for Smartless.
We're going to get there one day.
Yes, one of us will be nominated solo for an award for podcast hosting this 2-person hosted podcast.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. And more likely it's going to be you. You got the voice for podcasts.
I do have that, if nothing else.
I got the voice for nothing.
Well, you know what's crazy that I just found out about slaps from looking it up? It's apparently, and you know how much pride I have in this, it's a Bay Area term.
What?
Yeah, no, I was surprised too. Probably because I would have been using it more frequently had I known, there are quite a few words that I like to use. Anyways, so apparently it's from the whole hyphy music realm.
Okay.
And it's derived from the physical action or slapping of a subwoofer while playing a song with extra bass.
What?
Yeah.
That's like actually scientific and technical.
Yeah, it's way better than the definition that I had come up with.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
Oh, you want that one too?
Always.
Okay. So what made sense to me is like if somebody comes up and slaps you, there's no way you can't pay attention to it and try to figure out what's going on. It's impossible to avoid, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So something that slaps would be so great that it would be impossible to avoid, impossible to ignore.
Okay. So basically you're saying slaps equals Keanu Reeves.
I think I meant slaps equals MC squared, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we got way scientific on this episode. My goodness. Are we actually that smart?
No.
Okay. But man, can we fake it?
Till you make it.
Oh, hey, so I just cracked open Urban Dictionary.
And in case you weren't sure that the original definition I gave was factual, it actually was referenced on KQED, which is the Bay Area PBS station. So now you know it's real. Although it's public broadcasting, so I guess that it's government-controlled media per Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, probably by now, yes.
So, okay, you started to allude to Urban Dictionary. What do you got?
Let's see. So first they have on there slaps, music that is desirable, which is what you've always, associated slaps with since I've known you.
Sure.
Which is I think I've known him for 2 weeks now. It's pretty cool. And then they have an example, and I think you might be familiar with this one. It's all, man, you heard that new Mike Jones album? That shit slaps.
They said that about a Mike Jones album?
Yeah. You think he wrote this?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so too. All I know is I don't know if the new Mike Jones album slaps, but the new Muse album slaps.
It'd be nice if one band, and I'm sure somebody's already done it, came out with a new album and called it "This Album Slaps." Like, you'd have you'd need to back it up. That's for sure.
You need a lot of bass.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have special guests like Flea and
even
Chili
better.
Peppers.
It's based on bass. Mm-hmm. And what do you do with a bass? You slap at a bass, man.
But we don't slap a bass, right?
Well, it depends.
It's spelled the same.
Did it talk incorrectly about your mother when you pulled it out of the river?
Oh.
If so, then yes, you slap the hell out of that bass.
Okay.
Bass.
Am I going to have to fix that in post?
No, you can leave that in. That's funny.
That's gold, baby. That's gold. Anything else? You see anything else on there?
I'm not on UD. I'm just on D. That's not okay.
And those 2 weeks that I've known him, he's always been on D.
So slaps on dictionary.com. What does it mean? Slap is a slang verb meaning to be excellent or amazing. It's especially used to refer to a song someone finds extremely good, as in this song slaps. But it's funny. Especially used of music. That doesn't make sense anyway. Slaps is sometimes extended to anything considered excellent or amazing. And I don't care about all the other examples they give, but the first one's fantastic, which is this pasta slaps.
Oh, we're going to take it to the food realm.
Well,
I think we have to, though, right?
And if it's this pasta slaps, wasn't there that whole noodle whipping video thing? Like you had to slap somebody with a noodle. So literally the pasta would have slapped.
How old is that? How long ago was that?
don't know, a year.
Okay. I don't remember that, but you're probably right. When I hear that, I just think about how I was always told to test pasta when you're making it. You like throw it against the wall, and if it like sticks, it's ready to go. If it falls, then it needs to cook more or it's overcooked. I mean, I'm not an expert. Don't anybody quote me on this.
I think if you wanted to slap somebody with pasta, you would slap them with al dente because it'd hurt more.
What's the corkscrew one?
It's fusilli.
Fusilli.
But al dente is the way of cooking it.
You're so fusilli.
That's ridiculous. So al dente, since that's what now this episode is about.
Yeah.
Literally translates to the tooth, meaning that it's got that sort of chew as opposed to just being a flimsy, limp noodle that could use some Viagra.
So we'll take a left here because we'll come back to your limp noodle. But I just wanted to like give my co-host Matt a shout out because every time I think we reach the edges of where his brain can reach, he throws out a new subject that he knows stuff to. And it's pretty intimidating sometimes.
I understand why it would be.
There's a lot of knowledge in that beard.
Mm-hmm. It's only in the beard. God help me if I shave it.
Yeah.
One, I'd end up single. Candace already promised she'd divorce me if I...
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good
she
woman,
really likes the beard.
Yeah.
Or really hates my face without it. We haven't really decided which yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's seen it without it in person. She just hates the way it looks in pictures.
Okay.
So,
well, you gotta live with that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you were talking about all that knowledge in your beard. Did I ever tell you the tattoo I always wanted?
It's the knowledge contained within my beard.
No, but I'll write that one down. Hang on.
You don't have enough skin for that.
So I always wanted a lower back tattoo of like a wizard, like Merlin or Gandalf, and he's shoveling books into my ass crack. So he'd be shoveling knowledge into my ass.
I don't know which direction to pick on here. Just I think first and foremost, getting a tramp stamp with Merlin is
maybe Gandalf. It doesn't have to be Merlin.
Yeah.
What's the wizard? What's the little wizard boy in the movie?
The little Harry Potter.
Yeah, I could have him shoveling shit in my ass.
I don't think you can.
Well, it's either that or I get a rabbit running out. Which one
Can
do I
you
get?
imagine the lawsuit you get from J.K. Rowling by having Harry Potter shoveling shit in your ass?
His name's Harry, and my ass fits the ticket.
Can we stop saying ass?
What we should use, booty?
No, I'm just saying that maybe we shouldn't. Can we just pick a different direction to go in?
Well, okay. The other tattoo I wanted to get was an all over body tattoo of myself, only taller. Got him. Brought him back. I brought him back.
Tried to not laugh.
It's such a stupid joke. And I think I ripped that off from a comedian like when I was like 10. It's just stayed with me. I don't know why.
It was either Carrot Top or Gallagher.
We'll figure it out.
You know, it would be the perfect tramp stamp. That's right. A spoiler.
Oh my God. All right. How could you? What would that even look like?
I don't know, but now I want to see it happen.
It look like a bench over your ass.
I'm sure we can pay somebody who has low self-esteem or something to get it tatted just so we can figure out what it looks like.
Okay, so this is the slaps episode, but it's kind of turning into a tattoo episode. So anybody out there listening, reach out to us either in our DMs on like any of our social things like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, or email us at hangoutslangout@gmail.com. Did I say that right?
You missed at, but yes, I'm sure they understood the at was implied.
So I'm going to hand that off to my co-host so he could actually tell you how to actually email to us.
That's hangoutslangout@gmail.com.
That at's really important. But yeah, anyways, throw us some pics of your tattoos or tattoo ideas you think we should get.
Ooh, this one's fun. Slaps per the UD Urban Dictionary. And verb. So I already hate this definition because it says and verb instead of a verb. Used to describe a song with sick bass. Although because they said and verb, I'm sure they read it as sick bass.
Sick bass. Which
you never want a sick bass. It's not good for eating. It's not good for swimming. Nothing. You want your bass to be healthy.
Yeah, and I've actually heard you refer to this using slaps with music.
Talking about a song? You've heard me do that.
Yeah.
When?
During this podcast.
Hardly fair.
Okay. To me, slaps is an action, like there's something you do to somebody. To him, he's heard it more used in musical terms.
I will say that this is a term that I have inadvertently used from time to time. Actually, I kind of enjoy it, even if I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the words I had to avoid using. I actually like it, and I like the idea of using it. It kind of rolls off the tongue if you're using it in the like when something you really like if something hits you really well, like you have like some really good food or something like that. I love it that way. But my son, it was one of his keywords. It's one of the words he uses all the time. And there's nothing sadder than a man my age using the term that your 19-year-old is using like 6 times a day.
No, see, I don't think there's anything sadder than when that 19-year-old finds out that maybe something doesn't slap. Also, apparently, according to people I've spoken to or things that I've read on your phone right now, there's also slapping, which is apparently an SF Bay Area term. So I guess these are my people talking about this, used for playing loud music from your car.
Really? I've never heard that. Slapping?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if, again, my people were the ones that created this term. And maybe that's why I'm so okay with using it.
I think he needs to describe his people.
The Jews. No, I mean, I did find that out 3 or 4 years ago, but that's not what I was talking about. No, when I say my people, I mean people from the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, when I say San Francisco Bay Area, realize I grew up in the East Bay. We weren't on the San Francisco side. There's definitely a West Bay, East Bay rivalry sort of thing going on. But the one thing we can all get along with is that we are against everybody else.
That makes complete sense. Go Niners.
Yeah, go Niners indeed. But yeah, if slapping refers to that, and then by extension, slaps refers to a song with sick bass,
mm-hmm.
then one would assume that original term, if the original term was slapping, then led to slaps.
That completely actually makes sense. I almost feel like I learned something.
So I think that we have to thank E40 for this moment.
Do we?
Well, I don't know. I think just in general, you should thank E40 for things.
Okay.
He's done some positive things for the San Francisco Bay Area.
All right.
Also possibly some negative things. The yay, if you will.
Only one I'll thank from San Francisco is Joe Montana.
The only one?
Yes.
The only one.
All
Not
right.
the greatest receiver of all time.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, Mr. Rice.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be sorry.
Dang, you're going to have to take my 49ers card from me for that.
I just might.
All right. Thankfully, I like real football. Go Liverpool.
Speaking of real football, I don't know if there was anything better today in my life than a European football team beating another European football team by an American football score. So I'd just like to give a shout out to the Liverpudlians for completely decimating Man United today, which decimating any team by that amount would have been great. But man, beating United makes it even better.
Yeah, it was a good day to be a Liverpool fan.
You could say they slapped the shit out of them.
You could say that. I guarantee you there'll be shirts made of that.
You know what song slaps? You'll Never Walk Alone. That's what song slaps.
So, I mean, we guess we can get this back on track. We went into the food realm. What's a food that slaps? Other than pasta.
This is going to be hyper specific, and I'm not even sure these exist anymore because I don't think the restaurant exists anymore. But there used to be a place that I went to that had on their appetizer thing,
mm-hmm.
It was little, basically, lamb loin chops. So they took a rack and they cut it down into 4 different chops.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just doing a typical mint jelly, they did a jalapeno mint jelly.
Okay.
It was amazing.
No, it's supposed to slap. I don't want something that's amazing.
Well, the good news is because they left it still on the rib, you could strike somebody with it.
Oh, that's good. I was going to say, because this story better have a joke at the end. That's why you're sitting in that chair.
That's why I'm sitting in this chair?
Yeah. Well, there's other reasons.
Just admit it. Nobody else wanted to do this podcast with you.
Yeah. And if he sounds like he's being held at gunpoint, it's because he is.
We're a few episodes in yet. Have we even told people how we came up with the idea for this podcast?
I'm pretty sure I came up with it. That's not true at all. I think he just walked out. Come back. Sit back down. Sit back down.
Did you say that you came up with the podcast?
I came up with the idea of let's do a podcast together.
Yes, you did do that.
And the best I could come up with is, hey, you want to review movies? Well, there's original.
Yeah.
Which I still want to do.
Well, yeah, sure. But we need to get famous first and then we can do it.
We're not famous?
Well, not yet.
But we have a podcast.
I mean, my mommy says that I'm the handsomest boy in school, but that doesn't make it true.
His mommy tells me that too.
My mommy doesn't even know you.
Yes, she does. I'm famous.
Can we stop saying mommy also? Okay. Anyways.
All right.
No, remember we were at family Thanksgiving.
Yeah, family Thanksgiving.
And I think it was Jaded said some word that I was like, that word's stupid as shit. What does it mean? And so then he explained it. And then I was like, wait, this is what we need to do.
Is discuss the slang, yeah.
So not only did I come up with the idea, I even came up with the name, didn't I?
Yeah, and you literally came up with that name in seconds. It just clicked in his brain, and he was like, "Oh, I got it." And I think you came up with something else, but then you tweaked it to the title of our podcast now.
Yeah. So for all of you that hate the name, I'm sorry, but you're stuck with it now because we've already got merch.
Yeah.
Well, we've got merch in the pipeline.
Yeah. Wait till you see this merch. It's the best. I don't know if I'm going to pick anything food wise that slaps. I have to give my wife a shout out for her homemade salsa.
Oh yeah, her salsa does slap.
Yeah, it slaps so hard that she actually has to make it less slappy or hot. I love that salsa, but it don't love me if she makes it too hot. And it's the best.
Yeah, but just think of the dividends it's paying for the Charmin Corp. Yeah, and so now you've been listening to us for, who knows, 25, 30 minutes.
2-3 years.
Well, no, I meant for this episode.
No, all right.
And if this episode is 2 or 3 years long, we've got some explaining to do.
No, just keep coming back.
Just
people,
like
please.
Lucy had some explaining to do before she got slapped by Desi.
Oh.
That had to have happened once, right? Who knows?
The
point is this.
We're not allowed to talk about that.
Oh, we're not?
Well, you just did.
Well, is it a copyright thing or
I don't think we're supposed to be hitting women anymore.
Well, no, but...
Or is that what your people do?
Which ones?
Don't even step into that landmine.
No, that's not the point that I'm making. We're referencing an old show. We're not talking about it as if it's happening today. That's not the point. The point is this. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. And since you're probably in your car or listening to some sort of radio, pick yourself a song. Hopefully it slaps. Be sure to pay attention to anywhere where you may get your podcasts for the next episode of Hangout with your Slang out.
They're so excited.
See, now me personally, I've heard it more in reference to music. Like if they hear a song that they really like, then they will say that beat. Actually, you know what? They'll say that bop, and we'll get back to bop in a different episode. They'll say that bop slaps.
You get that?
Bop. Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Hanson.
Oh, no love for the little blonde boys. Oh, wait, we're going to cut that one out. We're cutting that out.
No love for the little blonde boys.
Yeah, there'll be a link to that as well, but don't click on that one either. And I got to stop linking this stuff to this podcast because we're going to get in trouble.
Oh, unless there's a paywall, then we're good.
Yeah.